Hey y'all, welcome back to another review of lchessica for Beyond the Gates, August 11th, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's episode down below. What did y'all think? Did y'all like it? What are y'all theories? Also, um, I got a question. Do Devon supposed to be coming back, or there was a one and done? Let me know down below. Now, people been study talking about this for weeks. They've been talking about Devon's supposed to be coming, stuff like that. So I'm thinking, okay, like maybe they mean, like, is they saying that the guy that plays Devon coming or Devon coming? It was Devon, y'all. Spoiler alert. It was Devon. And not only that, he just sit down for a meeting. He was trying to offer Anita a record deal, but she turned him down. But I'm going to give a quick summary, and then we're going to dive into the review. Devon ended up offering Anita a record deal. She ended up turning him down, but she suggested the other articulates, including Barbara or whatever. Shanice finally told Ashley about Andre and Danny about them being at the concert or whatever. I said, you a little too late, buddy. I said, you a little too late. You should have been told her. What else? Let me see. Ashley said Andre already told her or whatever. I said, she lying. I said, liar. You ain't know nothing. Anita thinks that Vernon's lying about something in regards to his meetings. Randy, aka Sammy, was sitting down with Haley when Bill arrived. And I was like, I could have sworn, I thought he knew who he was. I was waiting on it, but no, he done shook his hand and stuff. And I was like, so he don't know who he is either. Danny and Pamela met him back there at Joey's place or whatever. But aside from that, I think if she see him with, what's her name? What's their friend name? Vanessa. If Vanessa show up, then she'll be able to vouch and say who he is or whatever. But yeah, I was like, do y'all think that's her brother? A lot of people been saying that's her brother. But yeah, let me see. I already said Randy, aka Sammy, was sitting down with Haley, talking about he was just dropping off her bag and stuff like that. He's the one that took her to the hospital. And he was like, I'm sorry for y'all loss. I said, you a liar too. I said, both of y'all's liars. Bill, I said, but Bill must haven't seen him yet. Hold on. Ashley tells Jan basically to mind her business and stay out her relationships. It's her choice, her life. Danny and Bill was reminiscing and stuff. I told y'all, I said when he just like, who is that? Who is that? Dog, I can't remember. But either way it go, he act a certain way when Haley's not around. But when she in the room, he be different. Hold on. But yeah, they sitting up there reminiscing about when Naomi and Chelsea was little and stuff like that. Danny ended up apologizing, and he was saying how it'll be more likely for her to miscarry because, she fell on her stomach or whatever in the office versus just an argument. I was saying the same thing. I said, exactly, that don't make sense. Then, Haley, I'm hoping Naomi say something. I'm hoping Naomi said something because she sit up here and she had all that blood on her or whatever. That's going to make her look even more guilty because why would you go put all that blood on there and stuff like that? You done told Naomi that you didn't miscarry then, you been miscarried. I said, look, your lie's going to catch up to you, sweetheart. Your lie's going to catch up to you. Hold on. I said, no, her story's starting to have little holes in it. I mean, it was already having holes. Bill just ain't figured it out yet. Now, Danny, she was looking at the ultrasound, but she ain't look at it. So I was like, okay, Danny. I said, come on now. Somebody gonna have to catch up before it's too late. She gonna be done clean this man out. But a lot of people saying how they think that that Bill's playing her. That he already know what's what, but I don't know. We'll see. What else? Let me see. I already said Danny apologized to Haley and Bill. Haley brought up the college fund, and Bill was saying how he's not, gonna cancel it or anything like that. He's gonna continue to put money in it. He gonna actually put $100K. He gonna put an extra $100K, and he gonna keep adding to it because eventually they gonna have kids. And she just told him how she's not ready to have kids. She don't know if she ever be ready. She don't know when she gonna be ready. I was like, Bill. I was hoping, remember that episode or that scene when he was on the phone, he ended up taking out a $10 million life insurance policy. I was hoping he was setting her up then. Hopefully he is setting her up, because I don't know, y'all. We'll see. But, what else? Let me see. Do y'all think that the reason why Haley is doing this is because of money? Do y'all think it's because of some case that Bill had back in the day or something like that? Because people are saying that. And then they said something about her family. Did they say something happened to her family or what? I can't remember what her storyline is, y'all. But a lot of people saying that it's going to be because Bill had her parents' case or something like that. He did them dirty. It could be that. It could be that her and Randy are actually a couple. I've been seeing a lot of theories, y'all. What else? I was going to ask y'all if y'all think that Haley could be connected to Barbara as well. Because they mentioned Barbara again on today's episode. Anita was telling Nicole about the trust fund that she made. And she was like, the family has no idea that it's her and stuff like that. What else? I think the last two things before we dive into the full review is that Andre don't sit up here and brought Ashley a gift and stuff like that, but she turned him down and she was like she wanted to end things or whatever. And she mentioned honesty. She mentioned honesty or whatever, but she wasn't honest either. Both of them wasn't honest. But they said this week he's supposed to just show her, how much he want her and stuff like that. And I said, I said, I don't know. Are y'all team Ashley and Andre or team Andre and Danny? Let me know. But she was like, she just gonna focus on herself. I think this is what she told her mama or whatever. But I was like, yeah, she'll be back with him sooner or later. Danny still won't Bill. That was the last thing. She told Nicole she still want him. She still love him. I said, we knew that. We ain't have to tell you. We ain't have to tell y'all. You ain't have to tell us. We knew already. But okay, so first we're gonna start with Derek and Jacob. Nothing went on there. He training for what they said it was, a triathlon or something like that. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but he training for it though. He training for it though. Did he say that's supposed to be for the firefighters or something like that, y'all? Do y'all think something's gonna happen to him? Because Jacob was saying something about people usually take months and stuff like that to train for that. I don't know. Either way it go, nothing was going on there. It was boring. What else? Shanice tells Ashley she has something to tell her, so she ends up telling her that she seen Andre with a date, and she was like, Danny, and she was like, she was like, yeah, Andre told me already. I said, liar. He ain't told you nothing. Danny came out the room and seen Andre was on the couch, and she realized, she said he told her that if he ever pulls away and stuff like that, it's because, there's somebody else or whatever. And she realizes it's Ashley, and he's still lying. He still ain't being honest, not fully, but he finally admitted that he wants something real or whatever. He want to try with her, even if it's not her or whatever. I said, you too little, too late. Too little, too late. That's why you're supposed to always be honest. That's why you're supposed to always be honest before somebody else find out. Before somebody else tells somebody. He's supposed to always tell him. He could have told, just like he could have told Danny about Ashley, he could have told Ashley about Danny. But no, he chooses to lie. Let me see. But yeah, they was just talking about that. Danny ends up admitting that I think he asked her, he was saying how he wants something long term and stuff like that. And he was like, it was never going to be you, was it? And she was like, no. She was like, no. But I think that eventually she would have. Nah, I'm lying. I'm lying. She too crazy on Bill right now. I think she may start to miss him. She already was talking to what's her best friend named Pamela about it the other day, saying how he hus and she don't put in too much work and all this other stuff, but she couldn't let Bill go. She just couldn't let him go. Some people were saying they think that she's holding out for Bill and she's gonna be disappointed. Some people think that her and Andre is gonna get together and that's when she's gonna realize she still want Bill. But she been steady saying she want Bill. She ain't changed. She ain't changed yet. But what else? Let me see. Excuse me. Let me see where I stopped at. Danny admits she was never going to be his someone. Haley said that Sammy took her to the hospital. And I was like, so Bill never actually saw Randy when they supposed to be had him take out the kennel or whatever. He never saw him. I was like, Doc. What else? They ended up shaking hands and stuff like that. And he apologized for their loss. And I was like, I don't know. It kind of seemed like he gonna be her brother. I don't know, y'all. We'll see. Her brother or her lover, one of the two. But yeah, Vernon ends up telling Anita that he has a meeting and she was asking him questions about it. And she thinks that he's lying about something. He was acting suspicious though. And that's when she told Nicole she think he lying about something. And she was like, you don't think he's, stepping out or anything like that, like Bill and what's her husband name, Ted? But she was like, no, nothing like that. But I don't know. We'll see eventually though. But yeah, what else? Andre ends up telling Danny that him and Ashley have a connection. She still thinks that they don't have nothing special and it's gonna end badly and he basically gonna get bored of her. But I was like, you can't really tell people how they gonna feel about somebody or anything like that. I mean, he could say you're gonna be disappointed when you go back over there to Bill and realize that ain't nothing changed. But yeah, that's what they was talking about. What else happened? Let me see. Bill was checking on Haley. She was like, she not doing so good. I said, liar. Every time I see her now, I'm going to say, liar. Because she lying. We know she lying. We know she been lying. Naomi knows she lying and still going to sit up there and not tell her daddy. Can't believe this. But yeah, what else? Let me see. Danny ends up telling Andre that she's ready to face Bill and Haley, that she's put it off long enough. I said, she can't go 2 seconds without talking about this man. Derek ends up telling Jacob he's ready to move on. And I said, about time. And he gonna tell him, I said, what's with them study telling this man to go after Ashley? He gonna tell him to contact her or something like that. And I said, why would you did she tell you that she was going out with Andre and stuff like that. Why would you tell your friend to go sit up there and talk to this lady? What's wrong with them? And he was like, no, that's over with. She made it clear that she wants Andre. And he's like, oh, man. I said, you knew that, though. You already knew that. Yeah, or at least you suspected it anyways. What else? Ashley tells Jan that it's her life and it's her decision, basically to mind her business, like I said earlier. Bill tells Danny about Haley fall. He was like, because she was apologizing, and he was like, he didn't know anything about their argument. He was like, that's basically their love language. That's what they do. I said, exactly. And I said, what, Thursday? I was like, it would be more likely that she miscarried because of the fall, not because she had an argument. I mean, they do say stress can cause it or whatever, but I was like, yeah. She done came out the bathroom bleeding and stuff. I was like, somebody go in the bathroom or something. I said, go check on in the bathroom. But yeah, Danny just kept apologizing, and that's when he told her that basically she had a fall, so it'll be more likely that the fall caused it versus their argument or whatever. But he was like, he's like, this the only ultrasound I got, and I just wanted to see the baby. We supposed to had an appointment this morning and stuff like that. I said, you should have went. You should have went. It's too many loops, too many holes in this doggone story now, Bill. Come on now. Ashley ends up telling Jan that she just wants to focus on herself because, she's seen Danny and Andre kissing or whatever. Nicole and Anita talk about the concert and how it went, and she was just asking her what she thought of it. Bill talks to Danny about the baby being his second chance to be, a father, that he was supposed to be the Naomi and Chelsea because, he was always at work or gone and stuff like that, and he missed out on important moments. And that's when she was just comforting him. She had her hand on his shoulder, and that's when Haley came, and she walked over there, and she was mad. She felt some type of way. Danny ends up apologizing to her and Bill once again. And Haley over here talking about some doggone, she don't got the energy to lay into Danny for what she did and all this other stuff. And I was like, girl, wait till her daughter tell her that you told her that you had already had a miscarriage, but you don't came out the bathroom bleeding and stuff. So if you lied about that, you lied about plenty more. You lied about plenty more, sweetheart. If Naomi say anything, she pick and choose. She don't want to tell her husband about what her what's more her cousin, what he did, but you over here keeping secrets. You over here keeping wait, that don't make sense. I just realized it. Still means she good at keeping secrets. I said that wrong. Wait a minute. Well, let me see. Haley said she didn't have the energy to lay into Danny. Anita talks to Nicole about the trust she created for Barbara family, and I was wondering if they gonna bring any of Barbara family to, for the storyline. Excuse me. That's why I was saying, could Haley be related, or is it what people been saying that Bill had her family case or whatever, and he did them wrong or something like that? I don't know, y'all. Andre ends up stopping by the hospital. He ends up giving Ashley the photos she asked for, with the balloon and everything. And she was like, she can't accept it or whatever. And I said, look at Shanice. Shanice just back there looking nose itself. She just back there looking at stuff. But yeah, she turned him down. I was like, see, you should have told her. You should have told her. You missed your opportunity. You missed your opportunity. But they saying that they gonna work things out, y'all. Let me see. Andre tells Ashley that he had to talk with the other woman or whatever. He never says who it is, but she knows already that it's Danny. She mentioned something about honesty. He was just talking about having something real special. That's what he told Danny, but he didn't say her name or whatever. And she was like, well, you're not going to have it with me. And I said, you lost her for now. A lot of people actually was glad. Before this scene aired, they was talking about how they don't support or they don't like Andre being with Ashley. She too plain or whatever and bland, like Danny said, and stuff like that. Some people think that it's over and that him and Danny gonna be together. I think he gonna go back over there with Ashley. Now I don't know if he gonna like it when he over there, but I definitely think he gonna still be trying. I think he's still gonna be trying or whatever. We'll see. But y'all know, once again, with soap operas, they switch partners all the time. One day, Ashley and Andre together. Next thing you know, he back with Danny. Next thing you know, he with Nicole or whatever. Even though that's supposed to be his auntie, but y'all know how it go with these soap operas. What else? Let me see. Let's see. I already talked about her telling him that, he not gonna have it with her. Haley mad that Bill talked to Danny about his feelings and stuff like that. And I was like, girl, how you mad about that, but you ain't mad about nothing else? You ain't mad. You can't be honest or whatever. I still don't know what her agenda is. I don't think nobody really know. We all just guessing at this point. Let me see what else. They show Devon. He ends up meeting up with Anita and Vernon. Devon ends up saying how he has a proposition for Anita. Ashley says she can't keep the guilt, thanks him for helping her get through break up with Derek. And that's when he was like, so another transitional relationship, because Danny was using him to get over Bill, even though it didn't work because she still want Bill or whatever. And he walked out, and I was like, don't let him go, girl. I said, he wants you for real, I think. I'm not too certain. I think he wanted something real with Danny, but then some days I think he wants something real with you. I don't know. It just depends on the day. Hey, how you doing today? I think it really just depends on the day, y'all. I can't tell you. I honestly can't tell you, because even when he was talking to Dan on today's episode, he said something, and I was like, dude, I said, I don't know who he really want. I don't. But yeah, let's see. Danny ends up talking to Nicole. She basically felt crappy. They was talking about Andre. She was like, she realized that she couldn't move forward with Andre because of Bill. Haley don't know when she'll be ready to try again. She was like, it's just too much going on. It was just too traumatic. I said, you liar. You just want that money. You gonna get his life insurance policy. You gonna get that college fund. You gonna clean him out. Y'all think she gonna clean him out? I said, she finna take everything. I want to know with trust funds and stuff like that, because Bill created it and she married to him, or at least they saying she married to him, because if she already married, I'm sure it's gonna be revealed. Cause didn't Randy say he had a wife? Didn't he say he had a kid too, or something like that? I don't know. They saying that's gonna be her brother though. I'm good. Excuse me. Well, yeah, I was like, if they married, can she get the doggone trust fund? I know she can get the life insurance policy, but can she get the trust fund too, or the college fund? Not the trust fund, the college fund. But what else? Let me see. She was just telling him how, she don't know when she'll be ready to try again because it was too traumatic for her, and all this other load of baloney, all this load of crap. She telling stories to the man. Then that's when she started talking about it. She was saying how, you created this college fund or whatever. I guess you're gonna, get rid of it now. He's like, no, actually, I'm gonna add more and more to it because, eventually we're gonna have a baby. I'm gonna put 100K in there. I said, he gotta be playing her. He gotta be playing her, or he just foolish. I don't know which one. I said, either he foolish or he playing her, or both. Who knows at this point? I don't know. But yeah, he was like, he planning on adding more and more to it, and they didn't show her. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think they showed her looking how they be looking when they looking guilty and stuff. But either way it go, she bringing it up too much. Not the other day, but y'all know, it was a couple of months ago probably, when they was at the club or whatever, and they were sitting down, and she mentioned the money. Then she was like, I don't want to talk about money right now. But you the one brought it up, just like on today's episode. I was like, yeah, she about to clean him out. She about to clean house. She about to get that 10 million some type of way. She about to get that doggone college fund some type of way. But yeah, what else? Let me see. All right, he said he's gonna put more in there. I seen clips of the Shy. I be watching clips and stuff on TikTok. Is that still on, or did it go off last week or the week before last? Yeah, I be watching clips and stuff, but I haven't actually watched it from the beginning or anything like that. I think the last thing I seen was the lady Jada that passed away. I think that was the last clip. No, it wasn't. The last clip I seen was what's the guy name that plays Luke? I mean, not plays Luke. His name Luke. And the other guy, what's Jason Weaver? When they had to come out the house with their hands up. That's the last clip I seen on TikTok. But let me see. What else? I think the last thing they showed was Devon. He was offering Anita a recording, Lord, a recording contract, and she's like, no, she just want to focus on her family right now. And she suggested the other articulates, including Barbara, and I was like, I like that. When somebody offer you a deal and you can't take it, you suggest your friends or family. I like that right there. Which I say I be reading too deep into this stuff. But yeah, then they showed Danny and Devon, and I was like, do they know each other? They shared a little moment right there, and I was like, do they know each other or something? I don't know, y'all. Victor, Shad, I don't know if I said the shot. I don't know. But yeah, them right there. That's the last clip I seen. But yeah, that was it for Beyond the Gates, y'all. Do you like the shot? Is it good? What is it, 6, 7 seasons? I think it'll take me a long time to start watching it from the beginning. I don't know. I should one day watch the whole thing. But yeah, that's it for Beyond the Gates, y'all. That's all that happened. I'm about to upload these videos to TikTok and Facebook, but that's it. That's all. Let me know your thoughts down below. Oh, yeah, I seen that too. I was like, dog, I did say, I don't know what happened from the beginning or anything like that, but I wanted that dude to get caught. What's his name? Noop. Not Noop. What's his name? Nook. I'm going to call him Noop because I was watching somebody named Noop on TikTok earlier. But yeah, Nook. I was waiting on him to get caught. I was waiting on him to get caught slipping because he been playing everybody. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, this is How Girls Today, and be safe.